And we don't know why the broadcast went down, folks, but we're back live now. Sorry if we lost you.
Yeah, I'm looking at the sky, Kyle. It doesn't look like there's any storms in the area, so it can't be that.
Well, I'll put it this way. They haven't passed you. That means they're not coming to me. Don't know. Could just be a small glitch in the streaming, so we'll see what happens here. Sorry about that, folks. Don't even know how long we were off the air. But it's been a late night here at the Draftmasters. Currently, up front here, let's see, who is our leader, Jug?
Still Joey Murphy.
Joey Murphy in the 13.
Robert Balcom is in second.
There's some folks a little confused about their starting spots, but we're back to green flag racing. You can see everybody squealing tires there as they restart. Everybody's rear end kind of waggling around. Looks like the 93 of Rick Johnson's going to get right back into the fray there in second place.
Yeah, look like the 032 of Winter Heat. Is that Winter Heat?
The 032?
I'm sorry, BSR Barry. Had a little bit of a miscommunication with his tires on the start of that race. He's got to gather back up and is heading back in the right direction.
Well, he said horsepower, they said no. He said where, they said go.
Sometimes all you can do is listen to him and obey, right?
Right, hold on and hope for the best, and hope the guy behind you is paying attention. If you're the 3 viewers that we had before and we lost you, we apologize for the stream going down. We'll put our complaints into YouTube and smack them around a little bit.
Yeah, that'll work.
Hashtag not our fault.
It's still Joey Murphy out in the lead, followed a close second by Mr. Rick Johnson.
In third place, it's going to be the 118 of Robert Balcom. Then it's 201 of Killa. The 00 of Bama. Following him is the 82 of Noah Hart. Spoiler in the 41, the 028 of Monty Keller. BSR Barry in the 032. Poor boy in the 24. Colley a little skinnier after smacking the wall there. He had a little run from Bubba J. Trying to hold on to it.
Yeah. Miles diet, Kyle.
No doubt. You know, shredding the pounds just by losing the parts. Then it's the 121 of Steve Looney, the 77 of Fox. Then it's Dwight York in the 87, and his first showing out tonight, doing a good job. Following him, it's the man, the myth, the legend, at least in his own mind, the BSR Pockets ride. Then it's Fercules in the 19. And then Hot Rod in the 65, Steven in the 510. That takes us back around to our leader, Joey Murphy.
Yeah, again, I want to go ahead and give a shout-out to OSR Bama for being involved in those wrecks. He's not doing too bad tonight, running fifth. And I'll tell you, another surprise is that 201. He had quite of a scrape up earlier and still running fourth.
Well, we're riding with the leader right now. That's going to be Joey Murphy in the 13. He's doing good, keeping the car clean and hanging on. He's got a bit of a lead over everybody else as we're just a few laps away from the halfway point.
Yeah, but I'm going to see that lead shrink, like I said, especially if they stay green the next 10, 15 laps. As the king of tires, so to speak, Rick Johnson reels him back in.
Sounds like we have a retirement from the 27 of Colley there. He's said his car's been beat up pretty bad, so he's going to call it a night.
And that's a shame, too. He was up front running pretty strong earlier tonight.
Taking a look at that 121 car, it's the mellow yellow ride of Steve Looney. He's hanging back here in 12th place, trying to knock on the top 10. Following in behind the 343, that is, yeah, that's the next driver up. It's Bubba J.
We got a second place change. The 93 got passed by Robert Balcom going into turn 3.
And the 93 has got the 201 all over the back bumper. It might be that there's something going on with that 93. He may have a tire going down.
Well, he was involved in a couple little scrapes earlier this run, too. So, I mean, his car is probably not the best shape it's been in, all night. So, It may just be that he's got some damage and he's just a little bit slower than he.
Kill is still looking on the high side, though, trying to make that pass, seeing if he can find a way around. Right now, he is content to be back here behind the 93, not putting a whole lot of pressure on, because we are just now coming up on that halfway point.
Yeah, even with the cautions we've had tonight, Kyle's been pretty fast-paced race tonight.
Yep, we'll see if it's going to remain that way.
Well, if they can keep these cars pointing in the right direction, it won't take long before we're to the end of this race.
Question's going to be, when's our first green flag pit stop going to happen?
You know, I didn't look at the fuel mileage on this track. I think it's around 40 laps for a full fuel run. So we're going to at least get one green flag pit stop, I'm sure.
In-race reporters tell us at least about 40 laps, so we should see it somewhere 105 to 108. At that point in time, that means possibly 2 green flag stops pending no cautions, but we'll see how that goes. Coming around now, we're going to be coming up on the halfway point the next time Joey Murphy takes the stripe.
Hey, it looks like the 118 is getting some pressure from the 93 of Rick Johnson and the 201 of Texan. I don't know if Robert Balcom's just used up his tires. It does look like he's running up in the middle lane of the track, so he might have overheated that right front.
I tell you, watching the leader, Joey Murphy, this gentleman seems to be very, very methodical. His line does not seem to change from lap to lap. He knows the points. He's certainly put in the laps for practice to know where to be here at Dover.
Well, like I said earlier, it'll be interesting late in this run to see how his tires fared. Because when you're in the front, yeah, you can set the tone of the race pretty much. But when you start seeing those guys starting to creep back into your line of sight, guess what? You're going to start putting pressure on yourself, and you're going to start trying to run a little bit harder. And next thing you know, you're rating your tires up.
Yeah, it's interesting taking a look at his lap times. Last time was a 23.690, almost a full second slower than his fastest lap. That one's going to be a 23.814. We see him going slow, but the interesting part about it is that nobody else is in the neighborhood.
Not as of yet. Like I said, yeah, it's not going to be something that happens fast. It's going to be something you see over a course of 10 or 15 laps, I think. It looks like we got a caution already again. That looked like 65 of Hot Rod.
Coming down out of 4, looks like Hot Rod just gets loose, tries to catch it, gets behind on the steering, and that's going to send him around down in the front stretch. Tough break for the 65. However, he will continue, but retiring from tonight's event will be the 41 of Greg Trogdon.
He must have had a blanket party he had to hurry up and go to, Kyle.
Actually, I think it is a blanket party, but not the kind you're thinking. He said he was pretty tired and couldn't keep his eyes open, so at this point in time, it has been a long evening for everybody racing. You know, we started at 7:30 with the server opening for the Lynn Voiles Memorial Race, and it is now closing up on 1 o'clock local time here in Ohio. So that's 6 hours we've been at this. So I can understand why people are starting to get a little tired up.
Yeah, Kyle, and also this is the back end of the that long racing stretch that we have every week, starting on a Thursday, and then ended up on a late Saturday night.
Yeah, the racers tonight got a bit of a break because they weren't having to do the triple, as OSR's late models are off for the next couple of weeks until the beginning of speed weeks. But you know, we have been doing 3 races in a night, being late models over at OSR, then the Battle of the Five Flavors at BSR, followed by Draftmasters Speedway Series here late night on the OSR servers. As you see the field coming off of pit road, still have plenty of people out there on the track, Jug.
Yeah, it's surprising this long into the race that more cars aren't out due to mechanical failures or wrecks, or there's a lot of people sticking it out for the end of this race.
As we see the pace car now leading the 343, that's Bubba J down. He's going to grab an extra point.
Yeah, like Kyle was saying, that the OSR is taking a break until Speed Weeks, and we'll be kicking it back off on the 17th with the late model 90 mod CTS physics at Thompson Speedway, and we're going to be changing up the format and running half dirt, half asphalt schedule upcoming to be determined, but the season opener will be at Thompson Speedway. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, that seems to be the predominant message that we have right now coming out of the late models camp. We'll have more details coming up as we figure out some of the finer points of the rules, maybe having to do something on those dirt races, as the computer will throw cautions, but we can work that out, I'm sure.
Well, then also with the OSR, we're going to be starting up their season-long Lightning Speedway Series with the Aero 88s following the 1988 schedule. Also on Tuesday nights, there's going to be a Winner's Choice Series with the new Monster Energy Cup 18 mod, starting off in Daytona on Speed Weeks, and then the winner of that race will pick the next track. And I think that will be a 12 season or a 12 race season as well. I'm not sure. We'll have to give you more details as they come forth, but that's going to be exciting too, Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely. Given the opportunity to the winner to choose their track is something is going to be tried. I've never seen it done before, within reason, mind you. Drivers are going to have the opportunity to see what they can make happen. We'll keep things going here as we keep rolling.
Yeah, looks like we're back to green, and Joey Murphy going ahead and taking a commanding lead as well already against Robert Bachman in the 118 ride.
And we've got Bubba J around in turn number 3. Sorry if timing and scoring may confuse you. It looks like timing and scoring has frozen at the 36th lap, but we are in lap number 77. Small pause here, ladies and gentlemen, as we try to get everything back up and running for you here.
Yeah, I don't. The season starts off at Speed Weeks with the BSR as well. On Wednesday nights, they'll be having the trucks, and on Thursday nights, the Cups, and on Friday, the Xfinity, following the actual NASCAR season. So come check that out, folks.
Definitely good times to had by all, and you need to come race with us here, be it at BSR, OSR, or the Draftmasters, and guaranteed you're going to have a good time as we're starting to wind down on the second half of this race now. Looks like we'll have about 60 laps to go.
Yeah, that's usual that at 13 of Joey Murphy's still out front. He has had a strong ride all night.
Absolutely. I think Joey is definitely the car to beat tonight. It seems almost as if it might be Joey Murphy's race to lose this evening.
And all of you, I do have to apologize. My voice has been going for, like he said, the last 6 hours, so it's on its last leg. So we'll just bear with us until the end of this race. And I'll assure you on our next broadcast, it'll be nice and strong again and out there annoying the rest of the sim racing world.
Yeah, well, truth be known, his voice was going this morning at 7 o'clock. It was already gone, and he's nursed it back to the point to where we could start the broadcast. So we'll give him benefit of the doubt tonight. OSR Juggalo doing a great job in the booth. Want to thank our brother OSR Psychosis, Kyle Pegg, for joining us in the Linv Oils Memorial Race. Did a great job first time in the booth with us, and we're glad to have him. Very proud of the job he did.
Yeah, he did a very, very excellent job calling that race, Kyle, and helped us out tremendously. And I do appreciate everything he did do for us.
Well, as things are progressing here at WNFS, we are making changes, and we'll see what races we will be bringing to you. You can stay tuned on the Papyrus NASCAR Racing 2003 page on Facebook, also at BSR and OSR's pages where announcements may come, as well as the NR2K3 live streaming pages.
A little bit longer of a the flag this time. Looks like the lights still aren't out on the pace car. We'll go back around one more time.
Yeah, it seems like there was some confusion on who's to be where, and as such, the computer has not seen a good enough picture to pull the lights, so we'll see what happens. Looks like they went off that time.
Yeah, Kyle, I don't know if you know this or not, but you know what sweaty balls are, right?
I'm not even going to touch that.
Oh, man. I got some real nice sweaty balls.
Yeah, so much for the behaving on the broadcast. Please excuse my partner in crime there, folks.
Oh, no, it's food, Kyle.
I know what it is.
Oh, man, I'm trying to lighten the mood with my sweaty balls.
Uh-huh. Well, since you have your sweaty balls, make sure you get a nice cup of Dickens cider.
Kyle likes my sweaty balls.
Yeah, I'll tell Peg you said that.
No, I met Kyle Willits.
I don't think so. Anyways, folks, I think we're going back to green flag racing. That being said, we have just under 60 laps to go. Get the green flag out and see how long it takes Joey Murphy to take this field around, because nobody's been able to get up there and challenge him tonight. Joey definitely the class of the field this evening.
Yeah, there's been a couple takers, but every time it seems like somebody's going to try to make a move, a yellow flag will come out. So I'm sure that Joey Murphy's not really upset with all these yellow flags. Looked like 24 OSR poor boy kind of got loose going into turn one and went way up the track.
Yeah, he was having a black flag cleared, I heard, but definitely able to hold on to it. It looked like it took him high, but the Monster Energy 24 was able to hold on. As you see the field coming down through turns 1 and 2 here, still Joey Murphy making this look easy here at Dover tonight. And he's got about a 3-car length advantage. That's coming up over Rick Johnson in the 193, so we'll see what happens here, folks.
Yeah, we get a long green flag run, we'll start seeing some movers and shakers, I'm sure. The 201 at Kill has already worked its way back up to 4th. Wow. You know, again, to mention his involvement in that wreck earlier, and he had damage, and he's already up there challenging Robert Balkin for 3rd.
Everybody looks at that number 118 and sees the nice view on that Menards car. the Menard Spirit Jackson ride. Right now, Killa in the 201 trying to find a way around him, but Balcom not making it easy as he, again, much like Joey Murphy, driving it like a robot.
Yeah, it looks like the 93 is starting to reel in the 13 of Joey Murphy just a little bit each lap. It looks like he's gaining about a half a tenth a lap. That 201 is trying to do everything he can to get around Robert Balcom, though, isn't he?
Balcom definitely trying his best to hold off Killa. Killa gets up to him, and Balcom still maintains that great line he's been running, and that just doesn't make it anywhere. You know, Killa's got the momentum until he gets to him, and then Balcom running his line. I'm not saying he's blocking, but his line is where Killa's got to be faster.
Well, yeah, this is typically a one-groove track. You know, the low line is where you're going to pass. So you just kind of really got to wait for that guy to make a mistake and get around him, because unless you want to force the issue going into 3 or going into 2 or 1, you know, you just kind of got to wait and bide your time. It looks like the 118 of Balcom is kind of actually pulling away from the 201 of Killa right now. Maybe he has Killa overheated his tires just a little bit trying to push the issue.
Battle right now for 7th position between Steve Looney and OSR Bama. Bama now on the high side gives the position away to the 121. Looney able to make the pass and head on down into turn number 2. Bama tries to close down behind him. He's got Mike Keller on the backside. We'll see, can he hold off the 028 now?
And as predicted, it looks like the 93 of Rick Johnson is slowly catching the 13 of Mr. Joey Murphy. Let's see what he can do with him here in the next couple laps. And he drifts high just a little bit right there coming out of turn 3, or turn 2, I'm sorry. And Rick Johnson closed in just a little bit more. And it does look like there will be a little bit of lap traffic coming into play here, just a few more laps too. And it looks like Joey Murphy's chosen that middle lane as we get later into this run. But Rick Johnson's still being able to keep it down there on the low side, hugging that line. Coming out of turn 4, he's going to gain just a little bit on Joey Murphy going into 1. Just inching closer and closer to Joey Murphy and the 93 of Rick Johnson. And it looks like Robert Balcom's going to start closing into both of them, and maybe we'll make this a 3-car battle for the lead. I'm just wondering if maybe Joey Murphy's tires are overheated just a little bit, because Rick Johnson is still closing in just maybe a half a tenth a lap. Now he's within a car length. Coming out of turn 2, still Joey Murphy leading with Rick Johnson second. As we come up on some lap traffic here, going into turn 1, it kind of settled down between Joey Murphy and Rick Johnson. It's still about a one tenth of a second lead over Rick Johnson. And this will be the longest green flag run they've had all night, so these tires are probably starting to get a little bit worn, and as this track greases up a little bit. At Dover, usually the longer you run, the tighter it'll get off that corner.
Absolutely, Jug. You know, sorry for the delay there, folks. If you saw some chat stuff coming up on the screen, I had to take care of some administrative things here real quick. Meanwhile, we've closed on to lap number 100. Thanks for covering for me, Jug. Give your voice a break for a minute. As we're riding here behind Noah Hart, who's running in 5th position. You see the leaders up in front of him. All of them kind of trying to hold on as they go down through turn number 4, coming back to the front stretch. Try and take it up behind some of these other leaders and see what we get.
Yeah, it looks like the 77 is going to hold the 13 up just a little bit, and Rick Johnson's going to try to, well, he held up to the 93. Rick Johnson did just a little bit also. That closed it in for Robert Balkum, though. He's right there behind Rick Johnson. Him trying to take, he's going to go in there and try to take second from Rick.
He's going down in there giving that pressure and pushing Rick up the track. Definitely doing some damage to the tires here right now, racing too wide like this.
Yeah, that's going to allow the 13 of Joey Murphy to kind of scoot away a little bit.
Smoothly, Balkum makes it through. Oh, he hits the wall coming out.
Yeah, it's just a little tap, but ain't nothing that's going to, I don't think, affect the car too much.
Looks like he's back to that midline. Rick Johnson right behind him now, trying to run real low going through the turns. I think he last time through was trying to keep his tires right down on the apron, but runs it up a little bit more this time, maybe a tire width or two, trying to get right up underneath Robert Balkum in that 118.
Well, Robert Balkum right now, all can really do is run Rick's line and hope that he takes his exit off away from him. That's really all you can do at this point with your tires being old like this, and not trying to lose a position.
That means any time now in the next, I don't know, 10, 15 laps, we should start seeing pits again, I think.
Yeah, I would think so. We've been green for quite a while now. I'm not exactly sure what lap it was that we had our last green or yellow flag, but we've been under green for quite a while here. So it looks like Rick Johnson's going to try to peek underneath Robert Balkum coming off a 4, get right on his bumper. Whoa, and he got a little bit loose. Rick Ball, yeah. Here goes Rick Johnson. He's going to make it go double file again for the second spot.
Dude, I'll tell you, this has been a great battle here.
Yeah, it looked like Balkum was going to try to do a crossover, but he couldn't make anything happen there.
Yeah, I don't think it's over.
343, right there, they're going to use him as a pick, and Rick is by him cleanly.
Balkum was looking, but he knew better to take it 3 wide going down into the turn there. You don't want to try that.
But I'll tell you what, Rick and Robert racing each other like that, it's a loud kill just to close right back up on them.
Look at the gap between Joey Murphy and second place of Rick Johnson. Probably about a half a straightaway advantage now for the 13. That's all he wants to see is those guys back there racing each other, because it gives him the time to work his way through lap traffic. He doesn't have to worry so much about what they're doing because, again, he's just sailing away from them.
Well, that gives him a chance to get his tires to cool back down, too. I'm sure he had the pressure. He was, when he saw them closing in on him, he had to pick up the tempo a little bit. And now that they were going too wide, for the second spot, he's like, whoo, I can let these puppies cool off a little bit,
Absolutely. Your point at the tires, they absolutely have fallen off as we're running mid-24s now opposed to everybody's best lap in the high 22s. So it won't take long before people start skating up the track because they've heated that front right corner up way too much, especially if they've been running side by side with each other.
I'll tell you what, our winner from our last race, 38, BSR Pockets is getting ready to go lap down to Joey Murphy. It looks like we've got a caution on the track, and that's good news for the 38 of Mr. Pockets. He was getting ready to go a lap down. Yeah, it looks like the leaders will come in right here and take some fresh tires. What about these guys that just pitted, though, Kyle? You know, is going to try a different strategy. That's really going to mess up their chances to win here with less than 40 to go. And right here, you're going to make it from the end. You know, you're not going to have any more green flag stops. I'm sure we'll see some wave rounds.
Looking back, looks like the 028 here is going to be who caused the caution as we're riding with him now going down the backstretch as he enters down into 3 here. Not sure what causes the issue. Looks like he takes a high line, comes down through, tries to get on a pit road, and oh, he just T-bones or stuffs it straight into the end of the pit wall, and that knocks him back out on the track, and that brings out the caution.
Yeah, I don't know who the lucky dog will be here. I think there's some discussion on who's the lucky dog.
Yeah, they're discussing it. I think it's going to be Steven. Maybe wrong on that. We'll have to.
Well, it wouldn't be Monte Keller if he is the cause of that caution. It would fall to Portboy, I would think. We'll have to wait on race control and see what they say, but. But I'm not sure that some of these cars went a lap down as a result of the caution coming out, prior or after the fact. So.
Yep. We'll see. See what happens. Sounds like they're declaring Steven as the lucky dog. I think we may have some radio issues. I think people can hear, but I don't think they can talk. Sounds like we've got Steven as the lucky dog and Poor Boy.
I'm not sure what the rule is over here, but who is the lucky dog? Is it from the time the caution comes out, or?
We're taking a look at a administrative thing.
I believe the 24 thinks that he's the lucky dog. He's going around the track now, actually, so unless he's taking a wave around. The 510 is also going around, so.
Pockets, I threw him a black flag.
Sorry, folks, there's a bit of confusion right now as who's what and who's where. As the pace car goes in, we're going to go back to green flag racing with Joey Murphy on the inside and 93 of Rick Johnson on the outside. Coming to turn 1, it'll be Joey Murphy taking the lead from the 93. The 93 looked like he got on the wall a little bit on that start.
He did get that black. He's
Kyle,
asking about it.
In the race, where you're not going to have to stop and get tires again, you don't have to stop and save your tires. You don't have to lay back a little bit. You just give it all you got and go.
Yeah, 10-4. Sounds like an administrative problem with the 82. Black flag has been displayed over that car, so we're not sure if he's going to be answering that or if it's going to go fully. But we'll move back up here, folks. Sorry for the delay on the stream here.
And it's still the 13 of Joey Murphy leading the way with 93 of Rick Johnson in second, followed by Robert Brockham in third, and Steve Looney in fourth. They're kind of just single file right now.
Yeah, Joey Murphy just running away with it as usual.
And if I'm not mistaken, I kind of hear somebody clutching going into the corner. It sounded like the 13 or the 193 sound like they're letting them, clutching the motor as they go into the corner.
Looks like the black flag was absolutely answered by the disqualification of the 82.
So he got disqualified.
Yes.
And what was the reason for that, Kyle?
Not sure the answer to that question, but was given a black flag, I think, for not communicating.
Yeah, I'm riding along right now, Kyle, with the 93 of Rick Johnson inside his car.
And I'm told now it was failure to follow admin instructions was the disqualifying.
There for a while, though, Rick Johnson was clutching going into the corners.
Really?
Not sure if that was what that was for, because you should be able to make it on fuel here with 20 to go, less than 20 now.
Yeah, but is that the way to take care of your tires? Is to clutch it a little bit?
I don't know. I'm riding along watching now that Robert Bauckham has gotten by him to see if that kind of a strategy thing. But it's just kind of unusual for to be clutching at Dover. I thought I heard it, when I was watching a different view. So I thought I'd find out what car was doing it, and sure enough, it was the 93 of Rick Johnson.
Well, right now, Bauckham back there in second place. He's starting to put some distance between him and third place of Rick Johnson. As we look at this, we're coming around to the beginning of lap number 124, I believe. And we'll see Joey Murphy still. I think he's led every green. Yeah, he's dominated this race, leading, I think, almost every, if not every, green flag lap tonight.
I'm not sure anybody's led it well, other than staying out and leading a lap that way, has even led under caution. But, coming up with 15 to go here, you got to wonder, Rick Johnson letting Robert Bauckham by. I don't know so much as letting him by, but him getting by, if that kind of hurt his chances to get back up there and put it in a mix with Rick, or the 13 of Joey Murphy.
Well, right now, I think again, I've said this several times tonight. I think Joey Murphy definitely class of the field. It's his race to lose. It's going to be a tough call if something like that happens, but there's nothing I've seen out of the 13 that shows me that that's going to happen. He has been absolutely technical tonight to a T. He has been able to turn the laps consistently, faster than everybody else, running a 29 or 23.2. When I look back over the top five right now, everybody else 23's 285 is the next closest I see, and that's Killa in fifth position.
Well, again, and that's another thing that amazes me, how fast these top five just pulled away from the rest of the field and separated themselves from the rest of the cars out here tonight.
Yeah, they seems like everybody wanted to ride, but now as the laps are winding down, we're coming up. It'll be 10 laps to go next time by, which means we will be racing back. And this race is almost in the books. We'll see right now. Is this race really for second through fifth?
I'm wondering if it's just first and second, Kyle, because it looks like the 93 of Rick Johnson and Steve Looney and Texan are kind of falling back there a little bit, just to those two up front. Now, I don't know if they're trying to save their tires maybe until that last, 5 laps, or if that's just all they've got.
We are racing back, so looks like we've been racing back for a lap. I'm behind here. I apologize, folks. At that point in time, we'll see. Right now, Bauckham trying to close in on the 13 of Joey Murphy. But it doesn't look like he can get up there more than about a car length between them.
Well, we got another lap car going to kind of play a part in this. So, Robert Bauckham is right there on his heels, and if he messes up just a little bit, that's going to be the end of it.
Yeah, like I said, Joey's race to lose. He's done a good job in that 13. He's going to be looking for just a few more laps to go. Of course, with guys' laps down, if a caution comes out, we may not go back to green.
Well, that too, and if you're on the tail end of the lead lap and you're fighting to stay on the lead lap, you don't have to move out of the way for these leaders. You want to try to stay on that lead lap in case it does go back to green, and you can get your lap back that way, because that's the only way you're going to get it back now.
Yeah, there are no more lucky dogs. There are no more wave arounds. Did you see that? Bauckham started to look low, like he was going to sail it in there. I don't know. We'll see. He's definitely starting to look around as we come up on the back of the 510 of Steven.
Like I said, he's still on the tail of the lead lap right here, I do believe. So you're going to put up more of a fight, I would think, but maybe not as they go around him.
This close into the race, I think Steven knows that he doesn't have what it needs in that 510, so I don't think he wants to ruin anybody else's night. But I'll tell you what that did do is it made Bauckham check up a little bit. Johnson was able to close some going into that last turn. So right now, it's up to Bauckham to run the tires off that 118 and see if he can catch up with Joey Murphy.
Again, I think some more lap traffic is going to come into effect here as we're closing in on the 19 of Furco. It just depends on where they catch him, if it has any effect on it.
Coming up on 3 laps to go here. I tell you, folks, it's starting to close up there in the top 2 spots. We're just under a car length between them. Now Murphy's starting to look on the high side.
Yeah, with these last few laps, you're going to start doing anything you can to get around that top car. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what Bauckham does if he can't, stick a fender in there going into 3 or going into 2.
Looked like he was going to try there, and he lost some momentum coming down through 3.
3 to catch back up with him.
Yeah, he's driving in there, see if he can make an attempt. He's looking on the high side. Rick Johnson in there looking back there going, leave me that door, I dare you.
Yeah, he opened the door right there going into 2. Robert Bauckham did. He was up high, half a lane, as he is right here also. And, it doesn't take much of a door to be open for somebody to try to walk their way right through it, especially with 2 or 3 to go.
Absolutely. As we come down through, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the white flag this time by. Let's see, Bauckham's trying to close up. Right now, he better start looking back in his mirror. He's looking low. He got position.
He pushed it there too hard.
Oh, look at this. Rick Johnson hits him. He goes around.
That'll be the race, folks.
Oh, that is the race.
That will be the race. And if I'm not mistaken, that will take Rick Johnson out of the top 2nd spot for causing that caution.
We'll have to wait and see the administrative call on that one, but let's go to the rewind screen and take another look at that.
Being up there, as far as Robert Bauckham goes and being in 2nd, almost getting that win, and to see that happen, it's got to be heartbreaking. But then you got to think it's just racing. You know, it's going to happen. You know, whatever happens, happens. It was a good race, and I did my best as I could, you know, the whole night. So no fault on anybody as far as I'm concerned, as far as hard feelings, anything like that. But you've got to be heartbroken to be that close to the win and lose it like that.
Well, we'll get this replay set up, see what we can see here.
From my view, it looked like Robert Balcom kind of came down a little bit.
We're riding with Balcom here. He sticks it in there, gets on the apron, and looks like Joey Murphy gets up there and leaves him some room. Then he gets contact as he came back down on the 193, who did the pretty much same thing he did, drove it in there deep. And I'd say, quite honestly, that was a racing thing that led to a racing thing.
He could be, like I said, I don't know. That'd be up to the admins, but our race winner, though, will be Joey Murphy.
And he's doing his burnout, folks. We'll see if we can raise him on the radio. Joey Murphy, you got us up here in the booth. And it looks like it's a complete radio failure, so we'll go ahead and let him do his burnout.
Congratulations, Joey Murphy, on his win tonight at the Draftmasters.
And we'll go ahead and sign off at that point, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Chris Eisenhower and myself here at WNFS Broadcasting, I am Kyle Willits. I'd like to thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show, and we'll see you the next time. Bye.